Massey, welcome to Massey.
He was running it as a self-sufficient piece of land.
Yeah.
With the natural spring. The
water
there.
that, yeah.
And the workers were here as well.
Yeah.
They had vegetable gardens and they had... The whole thing was self-sufficient.
Why not a kitchen?
Look at this.
Nature.
Flavours, the fire, everything, a whole different nature of cooking when you're cooking outside. There's a technique where you put it onto the flame, coat it in oil, and you give it a really hot scorched temperature right around. The meat of the deer caramelizes lovely, and then what you do is you hang it and rest it, and you keep repeating that process of scorching it really hot. 28-foot Culinary, or Norwegian traditional boat. Yeah. Lost the engine up the top of Scotland and ended up shipwrecked in a storm, St. Brendan's storm. We got caught at Cape Rat.
That's one of my favourite places. We used to camp out there all the time.
Cape Rat on top of Scotland?
Yeah.
Sailing around it now is...
Not for London, but that was his favourite place. We used to spend 4 or 5 weeks out there.
Wow.
In the wild beaches, yeah.
It's a fabulous place, the west coast of Scotland, isn't it?
It's my favourite.
Absolutely incredible.
How long were you stranded out there for then?
2 months. The boat sank.
Did you get them?
No, I just repaired the boat for 2 months, picking periwinkles, and eventually got the boat refloating again. Because we pulled it up with a tractor a bit up the beach. So to refloat it, I had to wait on spring, full moon, high tide for the biggest tide to get it out. And the next month it didn't come out. I had to wait for another full moon, and the next full moon, the next one of the year, so that got me out.
And were you in Cape Rat itself or just sort of...
Loch Errible.
Oh, yeah,
I went back. I had to go back for shelter of Loch Errible. But when Storm Brendan came in, there was nothing I could do to control the boat apart from sail it into the beach. Yeah, we're gonna sizzle with salt, bit of oil. It'll start to break down the herbs a bit better.
Yeah.
And you're getting a nice infusion there now. You don't want it too hot, you don't want the oil massively hot, just nice and quick infusion. You don't want to burn your herbs if you get bitter. In maple syrup. Yeah, it was eventful.
Why did you choose Norway to start?
I was just working over there. It was. I had never planned on doing the trip. It was just the island and the colin and the synchronicities that all happened. That was like, okay, if I go against this flow, things could probably go really bad. Even though it was like, logically, it made sense not to be sailing into the North Sea in the middle of winter time. But everything else was telling me that was a great idea. So,
what was the name of the restaurant you cooked up there again? In Norway?
Mimo. They didn't have a cooking spot here, it's not really too hot. So we have little quail. For starters, we're going with hay smoked quail. It's been grilled over the fire and stuffed with herbs.
Yeah.
That's going with fried Jerusalem artichoke that's been char grilled over the fire also. So going with the quail and the Jerusalem artichoke is going to be sesame fire and char, and that's going to all be served with a red wine reduction of maple syrup, thyme and sage.
What would you call this dish if you serve it there?
Wild mountain quail. So we have quail with Jerusalem artichoke, char, sesame fire, a sauce of red wine and maple.
What do you think, boy? Mate, stop recording and taste that quail, bro.
So I kept the fire burning And when I eventually made it down, now after Cape Bart I was sailing just with sails, no engine or anything, it was just wind. So then that got really wild, because you can't just say, oh the weather's getting bad and I'll just pop over to the harbour there. It's like, I can't, you just have to stay out. So I eventually made it down to Kerry and then transferred the fire from the boat onto a horse and cart. And then drove a horse and cart from Valentia Island and Kerry to West Meath to the hill of Ishnock, in the very centre of Ireland. And then put the fire into the ground there.
So how long were you a butcher for there in FX Buckley's?
FX Buckley's, I started when I was 16.
Yeah.
And worked right up until 18. 2 years.
2 years as a butcher. And you learned the good parts of cutting and all by then, wouldn't you? In 2 years you'd learn most of the good stuff, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like getting up into the lambs and everything was not really what I was getting into, but getting into like throwing out chickens and everything.
Yeah.
And cleaning lots of dishes.
And that would have been wonderful for cooking, wouldn't it? Because you don't really...
The lads would let you'd be watching them all the time, like, you know. But at the time,
always learning.
Really appreciating the skills that are around you, like, you know.
Yeah,
you know, when you're young, like.
Definitely. Like an apprentice that can take you all over the world as well.
Yeah.
And then transferring them skills to cooking, what?
That was my plan before that I was going to go around and try travel with the butchering. This is the piece now. Oh, here's it.
That's the haunch, yeah? Oh man.
It's like a fillet, like. Come around the bone.
When you're butchering, that's key, just keep it close to the bone, is it?
So you're not wasting anything.
Oh my god, boys. So main course, Darragh, what's for main course?
We have the haunch of venison, going with broad beans, asparagus, wild mushrooms and a herb butter. That is also going with corn on the cob and pan roasted potatoes. Quick flash, beautifully medium. Bon appetit.
Oh boy. Oh my god.
So how's your food there? Your food?
Good to it.
Well, you're not going to say it's shit anyway, are you?
So we have ice cream.
But making ice cream in a forest.
Yeah.
So we're using the traditional method of making ice cream, which was originally with ice. So they would collect ice all around rivers, lakes. They would store the ice underground so then they could make ice cream during the summer. They had what they were called ice houses, fancy people had them. And basically the way they used to make ice cream was with ice and rock salt. So now we're getting a super freeze because this is going to melt and it's going to release all the coldest properties of the ice. And that is going to cool down our ice cream super quickly. Take a look at this. Yeah, kind of what you're
And the nag. Oh, finger job.
I thought he was going to take one finger and have a little thing.
Sweet thing.
4 fingers in.
Sweet.
Yeah, too right. And Sonia went for a swim and he was showing me this like map of what he wanted to do. So it was basically swim from the dinghy club in Sutton all around Hout Head to Balscaddon Beach. And I was like, oh, how long is that? He's about 10k. And I was like, that's the perfect distance.
That's a nice.
And how many it'll take you what, a day?
To do that 10k? No. we're looking to do it in, so you do a 5k in an hour and 45 minutes. So we're looking to do it in probably about 3.5 hours. Do you ever write too much and your hands start seizing up?
When you're saying it?
No.
So this is an old-fashioned way to make ice cream, yeah?
It's almost there, like.
Oh man.
Have an ice cream in the woods.
That's mad.
Oh man.
Look at that. So apple compote. Let's cover these.
So pistachio ice cream, yeah?
Mix it. That will be a boy.
Oh boy.
So pistachio ice cream there, yeah? Oh. Pistachio crumble with homemade ice cream in the mountains.